Welcome back to our channel. If you're an XRP holder or just a crypto enthusiast, this news will have you on the edge of your seat. Ripple Labs has just announced a historic vote that could change the course of XRP forever. Imagine waking up tomorrow to find that 50 billion XRP coins have been burned, and the price of XRP skyrocketed to $10,000 per coin. Sounds like a dream. Right? Well, it might just be on the verge of becoming a reality. In today's video, we're diving deep into the leaked Ripple community poll, the potential impact of burning 50 billion coins, and why this is the catalyst for a massive price surge. Stay tuned, because things are about to get explosive. Let's start with the big news. Ripple Labs has allegedly leaked a community poll about the possibility of burning 50 billion XRP coins. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar, XRP has a total supply cap of around 100 billion coins. Currently, a large portion of that is still held in escrow by Ripple Labs. If this vote passes half of that escrow supply, 50 billion coins could be permanently destroyed. Now, why would Ripple even consider such a drastic move? Well, burning XRP would drastically reduce the circulating supply, which could have major implications for the price of the coin. With fewer coins on the market, demand for XRP could surge, potentially causing the price to soar, but it's important to consider how this could affect the crypto market XRP holders and even institutional investors. By removing such a significant portion of the circulating supply, Ripple would be signaling to the world that it has control over its destiny. This move could prove that Ripple is genuinely focused on the long-term value of XRP, not just short-term profits for investors and the community. This may boost confidence in XRP's future, positioning it as a highly valuable and scarce asset. However, burning 50 billion XRP coins isn't without its risks. Ripple would need to make sure that the burn is done in a way that doesn't create unnecessary instability or panic in the market. That's why it's crucial to keep an eye on how the community votes and the details Ripple shares about the process. Let's talk about the math behind it. Reducing the supply of XRP by 50% would create a supply shock in the market. As we know from basic economic principles, when the supply of an asset decreases but demand remains the same or increases, it can lead to a massive price increase. This is where things get really interesting. Analysts and price models are projecting that if 50 billion XRP coins are burned, we could see a $10,000 price tag on XRP. That's right, $110,000 per coin. To put that into perspective, XRP is currently trading at a fraction of that value. So how do we get from here to there? Some believe that the reduced supply, combined with increasing demand driven by institutional investment and widespread adoption, could propel XRP to new heights. While XRP's price is largely determined by demand, in the broader crypto market, burning such a significant portion of the coin's total supply could lead to increased demand. After all, fewer coins in circulation mean scarcity, and scarcity often leads to higher perceived value. The market has seen this play out before. Bitcoin, for instance, has experienced price surges as its supply became more limited. Due to having, similarly with the XRP burn, the same principles could apply as demand increases, especially if XRP gains more institutional interest and is integrated into global payment systems. The scarcity could push prices higher, but how realistic is it that XRP could reach $10,000 per coin? Well, many believe this isn't just wishful thinking. With the right combination of factors, including global adoption, regulatory clarity, and of course the supply shock from the burn, 110,000 XRP might be within reach, but of course there are still many variables at play, and it's important to approach this with cautious optimism. But that's not all. There's another major factor in play here, the ongoing legal battle between Ripple Labs and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. Now, if you've been following the XRP saga, you know that the SEC has been trying to classify XRP as a security, which has caused a great deal of uncertainty and volatility in its price. However, with the recent developments in the case, especially with the potential for a settlement, it looks like Ripple could finally be free of this legal burden. The timing of the XRP burn vote could be a clear signal that Ripple is ready to prove to the world that XRP is fully decentralized by burning half of the ESRO supply. Ripple would eliminate any concerns about centralization and control, further solidifying XRP's legitimacy as a decentralized asset. In fact, if Ripple wins the case or settles with the SEC, this could lead to a significant shift in how XRP is viewed by the broader market investors who have been sitting on the sidelines because of the uncertainty surrounding the SEC case could suddenly feel more confident in the future of XRP. As we've seen in the past, positive legal outcomes often lead to explosive price action. So if the burn happens simultaneously with a settlement or favorable ruling from the SEC, we could see XRP reach levels never before imagined. And it's not just the analysts and traders who are excited about this potential price surge. Even AI models like ChatGPT and Google Bard are jumping on the bandwagon. These advanced AI systems have analyzed the data and projected that if the 50 billion XRP burn happens, the price of XRP could not only reach $10,000, but potentially even higher in the long term. AI-powered price predictions are based on a number of factors: the reduction in supply, increased demand, the SEC settlement, and the growing use cases of XRP in cross-B payments. In DeFi applications, these AI models consider variables like market sentiment, historical trends, and economic indicators to provide predictions. While AI isn't always 100% accurate, the sentiment in the market is overwhelmingly bullish, and many are expecting XRP to hit new all-time highs if the burn vote goes through. One key factor to consider is the role that AI has played in other cryptocurrencies. For example, when Bitcoin was undergoing its halving events, many AI models predicted major price increases. These predictions turned out to be accurate, and the market followed suit. So there's a strong possibility that the same could happen with XRP if the burn vote succeeds. Now let's zoom out and consider the broader implications. A move like this could have a ripple effect, pun intended, throughout the entire cryptocurrency market. If Ripple successfully burns 50 billion XRP and the price surges to $10,000, it could trigger a wave of similar actions across other blockchain projects. Projects like Ethereum, Cardano, and Solana could look to replicate Ripple's move to reduce their circulating supply and drive up their token prices. Moreover, the growing interest in XRP could lead to greater institutional adoption. We're talking about major financial institutions, central banks, and governments looking to leverage XRP for faster and cheaper cross-border payments with less supply and increasing demand. XRP could position itself as a top contender in the global financial landscape. It's also worth noting that XRP's use cases in the decentralized finance sector are growing rapidly, more and more decentralized. Applications are beginning to use XRP as their preferred payment method, and this trend is likely to continue as more users seek fast and efficient transactions. The reduction in supply from the burn could make XRP even more attractive to DeFi developers, creating a cycle of growing demand and increasing value. However, before we get too carried away, let's take a moment to consider some of the risks and challenges that come with burning such a large portion of XRP's supply. First, not everyone in the Ripple community is on board with the idea. Some argue that burning 50 billion coins could create unnecessary volatility in the market, especially for smaller holders who could see the price fluctuate dramatically. Additionally, there are concerns about the long-term effects of reducing the supply, while burning coins could drive up the price. In the short term, it could also lead to a situation where there simply isn't enough supply to meet demand, which could hurt the liquidity of XRP in the market. Finally, the SEC settlement is far from guaranteed. While things are looking positive, there is still a possibility that the legal battle could drag on or result in a decision that is unfavorable for Ripple. So what do you think? Is the XRP burn vote the catalyst for the $10,000 price tag that many are hoping for? Or will it lead to unforeseen challenges in the market? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the XRP ecosystem and the latest in crypto news. We'll be keeping an eye on this burn vote, and we'll update you as soon as more details emerge. Until next time, stay informed, stay ahead, and remember to always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more insights into the world of cryptocurrency.